Hey guys, welcome to this episode of From the Pages. I'm Anthony. This is Collectors Entertainment Network, and we are up to the November 1985 issue of Inside Wrestling. But before we get into that, guys, I'd like to ask you, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please comment down below and let me know your Inside Wrestling or any other wrestling magazine memories, because I'd love to hear them. Also, please share this video with anyone you think may like as well, and go ahead and give this video a like, because that helps a lot too. All right, we're almost done with 1985. We've got this one, and we've got one more, obviously. So here it is, November 1985, Inside Wrestling. Let's get into the pages. All right, guys, here we go. November 1985. We've got Kabuki versus Chris Adams, not just for kicks. After the Battle of the Champions, Magnum TA's post-Flair despair. The Freebirds flying high. We want the Road Warriors. Jim Cornette, who says you can't buy happiness. And up top, Steamboat versus Santana. Make this match now. Alright, November 1985. Let's get into it. Just got ads here on the front. And then we get into your table of contents for November 1985. The magazine that rips the lid off pro wrestling. And now available for your home video recorder, the most power-packed videotape anywhere. Pro Wrestling Illustrated presents Lords of the Ring, Superstars, and Super Bouts. You've got matches from the 1984 Texas Stadium Parade of Champions. You got matches from Starrcade 83. You've got matches from across the country and around the world. Extra added bonuses. An exclusive offer from Pro Wrestling Illustrated. You got the cap, all that cool stuff for only $44.95. Alright, sincerely yours. Here are your letters to the editor. There, looks like that's Terry Taylor. And of course, you've got ads on the next page. Half the magazine is ads, so just so you know. Editor's notebook, there's a letter from the editor. He has this in every issue. Alright, Top Secret, Behind the Dressing Room Door by Stu Sachs. And of course, more ads. This one's to make you look tan. Alright, On the Road. Looks like stuff from WrestleMania. I think that looks like, yeah, that's Cyndi Lauper. And then, of course, you've got Mr. T and Hulk Hogan. Although I don't think that's from WrestleMania. That's probably from, like, the War to Settle the Score because he's wearing a shirt or something. All right, you got Sergeant Slaughter merchandise. Oh, I wonder if Vince was pitching a fit at this time because Sarge had left the WWF, and now he's got merchandise all over the place. All right, names making news. Bill Apter reporting. You've got Tully, Blanchard, Rick Rude, Kern and Lane, Arn and Ole Anderson, Buddy Roberts, and Hector Guerrero. Look at that. Here we go. Alright, we've got back issues of Inside Wrestling and back issues of The Wrestler. Only $3 each. Here is the Insider. That looks like Kerry Von Erich and Ric Flair. And Wrestling's Greatest Subscription Deal. Save 35% off the regular newsstand price. You can get a full year of Inside Wrestling and a full year of The Wrestler. 24 sensational issues for only $27. And here is the Insider continued. And the Superstar Pro Wrestling game. Guys, if you've ever played that game, let me know how it is. Alright, news from the Wrestling Capitals. You've got Greg Valentine versus Junkyard Dog from Chicago, Illinois. Ric Flair versus Magnum TA from Atlanta, Georgia. Dusty Rhodes versus Buddy Landel from Columbia, South Carolina. Rick Steamboat versus Magnificent Morocco from Uniondale, New York. That is the Nassau Coliseum, which is right where I grew up. Not in Uniondale, but a few towns over, about 20 minutes away. So that's cool that that's what was happening there. Sergeant Slaughter versus Larry Zbyszko in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And Jimmy Valiant versus Conga the Barbarian in Cleveland, Ohio. Alright, Matt Brock's Plain Speaking. Looks like we got reports from Shelby, North Carolina, Baltimore, Maryland, Atlanta, Georgia, Shreveport, Louisiana, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. You got Tito, Magnum TA, and Ellering, and the Warriors. Where are they now? Don Kernoodle, Mark Youngblood, Jesse Barr, and Dominic DeNucci. Jesse Barr's been like the past few issues. They've been talking about him, and now he's in Where Are They Now? I don't know. Alright, Inside Wrestling Capsule Profile 112, Billy Jack Haynes. This, of course, is before he entered the WWF about a year later. Alright, Kabuki versus Chris Adams, not just for kicks. More of this article. See, this magazine's been a little wrinkled, but it's okay. Still gets the job done. Still look through it. Alright, always one of my favorite parts of any of these Apter mags was the ratings, the Inside Wrestling's official ratings. You've got your top 15, you've got your NWA, you've got your AWA, you've got your WWF, you've got your most popular, your most hated, and your tag teams and roll call of champions. By the time I started getting into wrestling, well, at least buying wrestling, I was probably into wrestling pretty soon after this, like either late 85 or early 86, but I wasn't buying magazines till 87, as I was a little bit older. I don't remember the roll call of champions. Can't say it's not there, but I don't recall that. But so that's kind of cool. Alright. After the Battle of the Champions, Magnum TA's post-Flair despair. This was a big rivalry at the time in the NWA. Alright, Steamboat versus Santana. Make this match now. I'm sure it would have been a great match. Both guys are great wrestlers and probably would have had a great match. But they didn't do a lot of, face versus face matches in the WWF. Alright, hot seat, Jim Cornette. Who says you can't buy happiness? Look at how young Jim Cornette looks. There he is. Look, he's got championship belts. He's got, of course, his tennis racket. I just can't get over how young he looks compared to... I mean, not that he looks particularly old, but he's older now, so, he's obviously, we're talking almost 40 years ago, so obviously you're going to look older. Alright, the Freebirds flying high. We want the Road Warriors. Was this a big rivalry? You guys let me know. I wasn't really following NWA. I think it was NWA or AWA. No, they were in the NWA at the time. Alright, one-on-one. Look, Jake Roberts and Ted DiBiase. I guess Jake wasn't in the WWF yet. He didn't come in until maybe very late 85 or early 86. And I know this is a November 85 issue, but it probably went on sale in August, That's how they were back then. All right, special subscription offer to Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Go with the leader. We have the Sincerely Yours continued and now available by mail. Pro Wrestling Illustrated Super Color Special 1 and 2. Probably a bunch of posters in there. Alright, this month in The Wrestler, Hulk Hogan destroys Mr. Fuji, the Rock and Roll Express, Koloff and Khrushchev, Ric Flair, the Von Erichs, Larry Zbyszko, Ronnie Garvin, Jim Garvin, Lou Thesz, and Randy Savage. And in Pro Wrestling Illustrated, we've got Ric Flair, Magnum TA, Dusty Rhodes, the Road Warriors, Tully Blanchard, Nikita and Ivan Koloff, Kamala, Crusher Khrushchev, plus Jesse the Body Ventura, Dr. Death Steve Williams and Ted DiBiase, the Guerreros, Kevin Von Erich, Paul Orndorff, Cowboy Bob Orton, on sale September 24th in the December issue. See, if the December was on sale in September, that means the November issue was on sale in August. Alright, premium back issues. Got a bunch of cool magazines there. We've got ads over here. And show the world you're a true wrestling fan. Pro Wrestling Illustrated merch, shirts, hats, frisbees, stickers, buttons, and of course, your deluxe package right there with everything. Sincerely Yours still continuing. And Pro Wrestling Illustrated back issues, only $3 each. More from Behind the Dressing Room Door. Of course, ads all over the place. Victory Sports Wrestling back issues. And this is the Magnum TA Ric Flair article continued. Here's the Rick Steamboat Tito Santana article continued, as well as back issues for Wrestling USA and Sports Review Wrestling. And I'll be doing a Sports Review Wrestling for the year 1986. I'll be doing a run of that in the weeks or maybe months to come. Alright, the Rick Steamboat and Tito Santana article continued even further. And of course, cool back issues for annuals and superstars and best of the wrestler. Good stuff. Alright, the Kabuki Adams article continued. And look at this, the official AWA t-shirts. Of course, AWA didn't have their own magazine like WWF, so they were going to advertise in the Apter mags because that would get it out to the most people, I'm sure. Anyone have any of these AWA shirts? Pretty cool. An exclusive offer from Pro Wrestling Illustrated. You can get yourself on the cover. I guess you probably had to send in a picture and then they'd mock it up to a fake cover of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Pretty cool. Here's the Freebirds article continued. And then we get to the end with just ads. And then on the back, we've got Wrestling's Best Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Inside Wrestling, and The Wrestler. 36 magazines for only $42. Yeah, I think that's what it says, only $42. All right, there you go, guys. That is November 1985 issue of Inside Wrestling. All right, guys, that was the November 1985 issue of Inside Wrestling. Guys, again, I'm going to ask you, please subscribe, please comment, please like, and please share. All those things help the channel, and it is so greatly appreciated. All right, guys, we've got November 1985 issue of Inside Wrestling in the books. Obviously, next week, we're going to finish out the 1985 year with the December 1985 issue of Inside Wrestling. But until then, guys, have a good one.